So the buzzword of conversation relative to the archetype of Gemini is a way of embodying and expressing and exploring the phenomenon of minds meeting minds. So we all come here with a different perspective of the world, one way to look at the infinite fractal possibilities of how that can be incarnated in a person is their birth chart. So your birth chart is as unique as your fingerprint, and it creates a unique perspective that you see the world through. And when we come together and we have conversation and we share our perspectives with each other, we offer each other blind spots or pieces that we didn't come here with. So when we're brave enough and courageous enough and in our uniqueness and sovereignty enough to be expressing from that place, when we're in conversation, we're offering each other the missing pieces, each other's missing pieces. So when we talk about the more surface layer expression and experience of the archetype of Gemini, we're looking at speaking and listening, but where that's really coming from is that we are expressing and receiving each other's perspectives. So one of the values that is in the category of Gemini is curiosity. So when we come together and we engage in conversation, I remember this article once that was like, the one word that you need to thrive in any relationship. And it wasn't actually a word, it was the expression, and so it was pointing to the fact that, and so this is the difference between closed-mindedness or open-mindedness. Thoughts want to flow, they want to move, they want to shape-shift, they want to morph. And when we engage each other with the curiosity of, we open ourselves to receive the perspective that the other person carries that's different than our own. The symbol for Gemini traditionally is the twins. And that comes from, one way to look at it is like devil's advocacy. So part of the reason that the mind moves so quickly, aside from the metaphor that Mercury moves really quickly around the sun, is that anytime we have a thought, we can just as easily and quickly switch over to its opposite. That's always there and available for us. So the archetype of Gemini can seem really ungrounded because you can't ever actually land on anything. Its opposite is always there for you to back and forth. So when it comes to curiosity, so the food for Gemini is information, is conversation, is other people's perspectives. And when we allow ourselves to do that dance with somebody, we embody one side or the other, and then the twins come together and they could go back and forth till the end of time, exploring the puzzle of existence, right? So moment to moment, that could go anywhere and could be purposeless and meaningless. So we can look at it in the context of its opposite, which is Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is about the bigger picture, like the meaning that's created when we put all the different pieces together. So for a Gemini, they're just collecting puzzle pieces. And then on the other side, Sagittarius is actually putting together an image, right? So the beauty of existing in time and having the capacity to be able to string these pieces together this is how we create the stories of our lives. And this is the deeper meaning of the archetype of Gemini. One of them is that all of these seemingly trivial pieces of information, perspectives that we get from other people, these puzzle pieces, they are weaving together a story, which is how we create meaning in our lives. So, to bring it around to the connection to the heart space, which, as Nani talked about, is at the center. The center, your heart space, is the center of your being, like the sun is the center of the solar system. And one of the qualities of the symbolism of the sun is that it is the path, the central path that creates your cohesive narrative for your life. So there's a lot of satisfaction that we get in aligning those puzzle pieces with that heart-centered, sun-centered trajectory that is our earth walk through time. So when we're allowing our mind, you know, it's kind of like to surrender to the flow of air, which is Gemini, is to let your attention constantly be moved around, right? So your ability to be able to flow with the archetype of Gemini is to be adaptable enough to follow your attention as it moves around. And so it's the archetype of the fluid shapeshifter. So on the theme of adaptability, very relevantly to what brought us all together here today and why this is so special for me, I have been participating, giving voice to the archetypes since Kelly began doing these events. And then there was the tragic break that we had to take, and now we're all back here today. And this is a testament to the power of the Gemini faculty of adaptability. Because Kelly has progressed forward and created something similar but different, right? So he's maintained his heart-centered original intention, the genesis of these events and of his vision and what he's creating, but he's adapting and he's rolling with the punches, and it's creating something more beautiful and more relevant. And what I'm noticing, as he shared with me what the kinds of things that are changing moving forward, is there's more people involved. There's more perspectives coming together to create this whole picture of this vision of what's manifesting as GUAVA 4.0. And so that's really a really beautiful expression of this timely signature of the human experience. And so networking, that's one beauty that comes from our willingness to be able to receive and integrate other people's perspectives. It feels really good to talk about Gemini after having had a cacao ceremony and sound healing, because usually when I engage this energy, it moves really quickly, and I'm really appreciating the pace that this is coming through right now. And I think that that's that sweet spot where we're able to partner our mind with our heart. The mind wants to go faster, and when we can slow it down enough, that's when, I mean, for myself, I have a lot of air in me, and some of the most grounded, incredible, activating experiences of my life are when what I'm feeling aligns with a thought about it. And I can actually, I'm aware of the story that's unfolding that's making me feel the way that I'm feeling. So I'm honored to be here today talking about Gemini and adaptability as part of it living and in action. I mean, look, this isn't even the venue that ultimately is going to be GUAVA 4.0, but here we are creating this beautiful gathering together because it works, because there's always a way for it to work right now. And that's the archetype of Gemini, is there's always a way for it to feel right now. And if you can put that piece in context with all of the other pieces and create a cohesive story, then you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Wow, thanks for being here with me.